Hello and good day. Hello and good day. Let's start this message over again. I started it and then it cut off, but let's go ahead and do it. Please excuse my speech today. I'm doing some whitening strips on my teeth, so a little self-care. But I wanted to start out by saying one thing that my mom instilled in me and my brother growing up is that you do not have to ask permission to do the things that you need to do or the involuntary things that must be done. And specifically, one of the first things that I remember her teaching us is that, we do not have to ask permission to use the bathroom, to go to the restroom, to use the latrine, however you say it. We did not have to ask permission to use the bathroom. That is an involuntary bodily function that must be done, that we have to do. We didn't have to ask permission to get it done. Now, there were certain situations that we learned, culturally and just in the places that we were, that we needed to inform somebody, excuse me, I need to go to the restroom. But it wasn't, can I go to the restroom, please? And then they say no, and then that be it. And you just stuck there holding it, hurting yourself. And that was one thing that she taught us growing up. And she taught us that because her childhood was filled with individuals who did not treat kids right. They did not treat kids right. So it was always you're not hungry, and they hadn't fed the kids. You don't have to go to the bathroom, sit down somewhere and pretty much do nothing, and you got to go to the bathroom about to explode, And unfortunately, throughout time, there are and were people who did and do children like that. And I just want to apply this to, every day. We don't have to ask permission to do what we need to do. Not when it comes to our personal lives, not when it comes to ourselves, not when it comes to what we need to do to keep ourselves healthy and going. If you got a job, but you need something to do and they're not very understanding, okay, then you need to start looking for another job ASAP, because that works on your mental. That messes up something on the inside of you when it's something that you need to do for your health, for your well-being, for your children, for your family, for yourself, whatever. You need to go to the doctor and somebody is holding something over you or trying to lord over you and tell you that no, you don't need to do that, no, you cannot do that thing, and you know that it's necessary for you to move forward, for you to get better, for you to take care of something that is precious to you. You do not have to ask permission to do the things that you need to do. There are times where we need to inform somebody. We need to say, hey, this is something that I need to do. So, I'm going to go ahead and do X, Y, Z. Or, let's work it out where it's a situation where it's best for everyone, because maybe you have some certain responsibilities. But it shouldn't be astronomical where it's just like, oh, you trying to work with them and they say, oh, well, you can't do that until 3 months from now. Absolutely not. I need to get that done this week. So this is what I'm going to do. Now, like I said, if it's a job, if it's a position, and somebody is saying, well, if you don't do it how I want you to do it, and and they're trying to prevent you from handling your business, taking care of yourself, taking care of your kids, taking care of your loved ones, what have you, then you need to know that it's okay for you to remove yourself from that, or it's okay to be removed, because that is a blessing. It's not even in disguise. That is a blessing, because that person is not treating you right. Because if the shoe is on the other foot, which at some point it would have been, or it will be, they wouldn't take that like that. And if they did, and they're trying to do that to other people, then they have bigger issues. They have bigger issues. So just know it's certain things that must be done. Like you don't have to be like, can I please do this? No, I need to do this. This has to be done. I may have some wiggle room of when it can be done, but I'm not going to put it off, for something ridiculous. So they be like, well, you can do it on the weekend, and what you need to do can't be done on the weekend. It's just like, okay, no, that's not going to work for me. I have something that I need to get done, and you need to, just build yourself up in being able to stand up for yourself, to do the things that must be done. That must be done. And if you, in fact, have been a person that is doing that to other people, that's preventing them from doing what they must do, what they need to do, involuntary things, or taking care of their family or whatever like that, I would implore you to stop it, to quit it, because life is cyclical. Excuse my pronunciation, but life is cyclical. There are ups and downs. It always comes back around. One day we are up, and then it come back around and we down. So you don't want to be the person that is treating other people unfairly, or treating other people like you don't understand that life has its ups and downs. That life, it goes around in a circle. Sometimes you up, sometimes you mid, sometimes you down. So don't treat people like, you're always up, because then when it comes around, when you're down, you might find yourself without people wanting to aid you or help you or understand your plight, understand what you're going through, because you weren't trying to, help them out in their time of need. So I just want you not to be on the other side of that thing. But I just was thinking about that, because, I'm starting to teach that to my younger children now, because just like, there's no question. I'll say my youngest child, she's potty training now, and she's doing really good. And so it's just like, regardless of how I feel, when she says she needs to go, we're up and going. We're up and going. It doesn't matter that I was halfway asleep, taking a little nap while, she was sitting there playing and her sister was playing. As soon as she pop up, she got to go. Oh, we got to get up and go. It's not a wait for it, because then, it's going to be a accident. And I don't want her to feel like it's her fault because I failed to support her in something that she couldn't control. So I just would ask you, I would implore you to, whenever it is possible for you, help people out and understand that, certain things that we got to get done. If we're not feeling good, we can't show up for something that, we said that we were going to want to show up for it, or that we said we would show up for. If you come down with something, then you just come down with something. You got to say, hey, I'm sick. I cannot do this. I need to get well. Can we reschedule? Yeah, you try to make it right. But if somebody's not understanding, or if they're beating you up for something that you could not control, then you need to reevaluate that relationship, or that work relationship, or how you interact with that person, because that's not fair, and it's not realistic. It's not realistic. A lot of times things happen to us, and we go through things that, are involuntary, and we just have to say, hey, I can't do that. I need to segue. I need to change. I need to shift. And that's what it is. It's not a begging. It's not anything. Yeah, you try to be nice. You try to be kind about it and say, hey, is there any way I can make it up to you? But if a person tries to make it impossible for you to try to make it right, even though you were in some type of involuntary situation, like being sick, you got your identity stolen, all your money's gone, your car get into a wreck, or your car breaks down or something like that, and you can't do what you initially needed to do, hopefully those people that you are working with and you work for, they're understanding. And if they are not, still do what you need to do, and then figure out how to shift. Figure out how to shift so that you don't end up in that situation again where you're looking like, I shouldn't have to beg for things that I require and things that I need and things that I don't have any power over. And because that makes a person feel so bad and makes a person feel so low. And honestly, with kids, it confuses them, because it's just like, I feel these things, or these things are actually happening, and somebody is saying that I can't deal with it. So what do I do with that? And that messes up people in here and in here, and you don't want to do that. And of course, you don't want to be on the side of somebody doing it to you. And so I would just say, just think about that on today. Think about that on today. And if you need to make some changes to, your lifestyle, your work, and what you got going on, so that you're not in a situation where people are taking advantage, or they're not always saying no to the things that you need and you require and that you have to do, so put yourself in a position to where you can move when you need to move. You can do things when you need to do things. You can say, hey, I have this going on. This is what must be done. This is what I need to do. I'll make it up this way, that way, but this needs to happen soon, or what have you. So I just encourage you today to, just think about that. And, it's one of those, stand up for yourself. Because it's like, when we begin to stand up for ourselves, in the natural, we then start getting like more revelations of how to do it in the spiritual, especially if you are studying and if you are praying and, communing with the Holy Spirit. So I love you with the love of the Lord. I hope this made sense to you. Go forth, spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, even if it's with you smiling and speaking to people and asking somebody how their day was, and then really waiting on them to answer if they wish to, right? But okay, until next time, bye.